Hello boys and girls, welcome to the bush. Do you know the bush is wet? That's okay, neither do I. Before we get anywhere else, thank you guys for watching this video, and if you like the video, hit the like button. You want to see more content? Hit the subscribe button. Now without further ado, let's check out the bush. Before we begin, I must tell you, the bush. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Dramatic pause. The bush.
Hello.
Technically not a bush, but as Napoleon says, a little man can do great things. Okay, let's go. Stuff going on. There will be a lot of DIYs, trivia games, stuff like that. Lots of stuff about animals. Do not mind the mess, by the way. It's in cleaning. We're doing spring cleaning in the fall. So, first up, we've got the great and mighty guard ferret, who gets paid too much for her job. We have the possum. So, about 6-8 months ago, I am coming back home from picking up this little lady, and she stopped moving in the box she was in. And my brother, freaking out, opened the box thinking she was dead or something had gone wrong. She jumped out like a missile out of that box and jumped into the back of the car in the middle of the highway, thinking it'd be funny. From that point on, she's earned herself the name, the possum. She is also the guard dog of the bush, although she does not do a very good job, and I think I pay her too much. Ferrets get paid in 1 bowl of food a day. I pay her 2 food bowls a day, and I think I overpay her, but that's okay. So, if you guys want to come in really quick, we've got, oh, that was close. All right, so next up we've got, nobody sees the mess over here. Okay, first up we got my lizard terrarium. This is holding all wild geckos and anoles and skinks that I catch in the wild, out in the woods and stuff like that. We have a lot of, what are they called? Pests, lizards and stuff like that. And nobody likes them, so they said if you find them, kill them. I don't like that idea, so I keep them and I sell them for $5 every once in a while. But we've got in here, let me see if I can grab them. Know what? I'm not that fast. We're gonna leave them where they are. In here we have 2 Mediterranean geckos and 2 green skinks. And we'll get a close-up of them in a little bit, but we're gonna go to everything else. So over here, we got nothing. Back to over here. No, just kidding. So over here we've got another shelf. I built these by hand. Bottom is storage. Top part is something? I don't know what to call it. It's work in progress. We've got filters. We've got sponge filters. We got trash bags. More filters. I don't know why. Anyway, so we've got a bunch of stuff that's going to be put on here as the years go on. I'm going to be switching out a bunch of tanks, terrariums, fish tanks. Might even do some aquaponics. But yeah, this will be used mostly for that. And then behind me is nothing. That's okay. No, just kidding. There is something. Down here, we have an experiment of mine. I'm seeing whether I can raise fish with only blue light, completely dark, but the blue light, for an entire year, and see if their color changes from what they originally are. In here, I have 4 guppies, 3 females and male, which is the ratio you usually want to do when you have live-bearing fish. This includes platies, mollies, guppies, swordtails, endlers. When you have a male, they start breeding with the females, and if you breed the females too much, they get stressed out and they can die. So you want to give 3 or 4 females per male, so that way each month the male will breed with a new female, and the old female can take a break, get her energy back, build up some fat again before she starts breeding. And so I'm testing. It's only a month into the experiment, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so we're going to do a close-up shot of the geckos. I don't know how well you can see them right this second, but we have one up here. You can see his little fingers. You're gonna give me a pinky? Nope, okay, he's gone. He's running. And then over here we've got another Mediterranean gecko, and then I have a green skink up here. Cool thing about skinks and geckos, they can change their color depending on how scared they are and how happy they are. So if they're very calm and chillaxed, or they want to heat up and they're very sleepy, they'll go back to their normal colors. So in this case, anoles are green. The Mediterranean geckos are usually a brown, a lighter brown. But what's cool about these guys is when they're either scared or they're trying to hide, they'll start changing their colors up. So the green anole, or not green anole, green skink can change to brown within seconds. And since this is a dirt terrarium, when they first came in, they changed brown, and for weeks I didn't even know that they were in here. Someone put them in here at first, and I didn't even know they were in here for about 2 weeks. And then one day I'm coming in feeding them, and there's this green lizard running across the top. I'm like, hey, guess what? I have skinks. So yeah, cool fact about them, this terrarium is nothing in here really. You got water bowls, you got dirt, you got worms, you got really dead grass, and you got one log. It's a work in progress. But like I said, everything's a work in progress. So yeah, that's it for now. We got I'm gonna call her the little escape artist. So this little lady here, when I first got her, she did not have a container or anything like this. I didn't have the cash to buy an actual cage for her. So what I did is I took a plastic box, drilled holes in it, and kept her in that. Now, fun fact about rodents, or not fun fact, but a fact about them, is if they can fit their whiskers through any hole, they can sneak out of it. And what they do is they disjoint themselves. So all their joints will disconnect, and they can squeeze through holes and then just connect their joints again. This little lady taught me the hard way about this, and I completely forgot about this rule that you never want to put them where there is a hole that's bigger, or is about as big as her face. If it's as big as her face, they can get through it. So she got out about 3 times. She would get out, crawl out under the door, which is not completely shut because the lock's broke, and she'd get under the shed. And at one point, I had a whole day where I was looking for her, and I'm freaking out thinking, man, I just lost my possum. And trying to tell the neighbors this was slightly harder than it sounds, but that's okay. I come back and I'm sitting in the front of the shed thinking, man, I just lost the possum. And I'm sitting there thinking, what am I gonna do? And I start humming, and I just sat down on the ground, and about 10 seconds later, this one crawls out just into my lap. 6-7 hours, hadn't seen her, just crawls out. I don't know why, don't care, don't know how. She's here, that's all I care about. So yeah, good memories and pains in the butts. So, next we've got the fish tub, and this is what the video will mainly be about this time, just to show you guys a little sample of what we're doing. I'm standing in complete light, I'm going to shoot over. So, this right here is a 50-gallon tub bought from Tractor Supply. You can get them at Lowe's, Home Depot, and stuff like that. This is a 50-gallon trowel, and it's mostly used for feeding horses water and food and stuff like that. But I found something very nifty about this. It can hold fish. Lots of them, too. So, I have a small, crappy 20-gallon filter on this thing, and I need at least 50 gallons to actually make this pond clear so we can see the fish. So I'm going to be building a fish pump or fish filter, and I bought the parts for it a couple days ago from Home Depot, Lowe's, and PetSmart. And I'm going to put it together, and we're going to shoot to the next day, which will be like seconds for you guys, and we're going to put it together. So yeah, see you guys in 1 second. Before we go anywhere else, just had to make a quick side note. I have an experiment going on in the great laboratory. My bedroom. Anyway, come here, come. Alright, so I have what is called a fish tank. And in this fish tank, we have fish. And that's all you need to know. Just kidding. So in here, I have several fish that when they get to full size, you need to have large bodies of water. Otherwise, you cannot keep them as a hobbyist. In here I have what's called a dinosaur by shear, 2 angel koi, I have a Pacosmus, and that's it. I will be getting a few more fish to add in here that will get strangely large as that man strangely moves. But they will get larger and larger and larger, and eventually I will have to get a pool for them because they will be too big for me to keep in a fish tank. The dinosaur by shear, when full grown, can get to 2 feet long, and he will get about 2 or 3 inches in diameter. The pleco there will get about 2 feet long as well. And if you live in Florida, which I'm betting someone eventually will watch this from Florida, plecos are an invasive species. They were let go by pet owners because they were too big, and they let them go in the wild. And what they do is they eat the food that the manatees eat, and they start eating all the algae. And it's really bad for the manatees because they migrate through Florida and they live there quite a long time. And if there's no food for them, they start getting skinnier and skinnier, and then they die. So Florida has put out warrants, I would say, animal warrants we'll call it, for plecos and saying if you catch them, kill them. So it's sad that you have to kill animals, but in this case, say kill the fish, save the manatees. It's a win-lose kind of, both ways maybe. I don't know. The angelfish, honestly, they don't get as massive as every other fish in this tank. They will get to about 6-7 feet long, guys. This is 6 and 7 feet. I want y'all to remember that. They'll get about 6 to 7 inches long, and their top fin and bottom fin will grow out to about almost a foot. So they'll look like a giant star moving through the tank. And I'm just gonna gaze into the distance and watch the fish swim by. No, that's okay. Anyway, these guys will get, hopefully, to be a breeding pair. I hope I have a male and female, and within the next 3 or 4 years I will hopefully have baby angelfish. Whether that happens or not, I do not know, but we will cross our fingers and hope and see. Now, on to the fish pump. Alright guys, it's the next day. I'm sleepy, that guy's sleepy, everybody's sleepy, but y'all aren't sleepy. So, we're going to be putting together the pond, and I bought a few things for it, so if you guys want to help me, you're going to need filters, and we've got 2 lovely blankets. They're so soft. Not really actually, they're very rough, but that's okay. We've got Filtration Media, and I'll explain what this does later on. We've got handy dandy scissors. Should not play with this.
You're not run with those.
No, don't run with those either. Exactly. We've got 2 80-gallon pumps. They cost like 22 bucks at Lowe's. We've got hose. Probably too much, but that's okay. And we've got our filter box. So what we'll be doing is we'll cut a hole here and here. One for one of those hoses to pump water into the box. The water will go through all that extra cloth and filtration, flow to the other side where the secondary pump is sitting. That pump will pump water out of here, back into the pond, and you'll have a clear crystal pond. We're gonna get right into it. But first, I need a knife. Okay, so don't do this at home, kids. Don't ever play with knives unless your parents say it's okay or you're an adult. Actually, even then, don't do this. What you're gonna wanna do, take your knife, cut it around here, but this is a pitiful knife and I can't cut this, so I'm gonna go get a drill. So we're gonna go back in just a second with an actual drill. All right guys, here we go. I got my gun. Sarcasm. Okay, throw that away. We're gonna put a hole, one on the farthest left side, one on the farthest right, and this has to meet the size of this hose. So, if you're a child, don't do this at home without an adult supervision, and if you're an adult, don't cut yourself or drill into your foot. That would be very unpleasant. Alright, there we go. It is kind of big for what we need, but that is okay. I just need to be able to get it through, and I'll put some tape on it just to hold it in spot. Now we've got one hole. We gotta do the other one really quick, and then we can start putting stuff in the filtration box. I guess we'll call that. Ladies and gentlemen, I will warn you, there is a camera-hungry cat in this building, or in this vicinity, And if you ever see a fluff ball floating around or running around, that would be him. So do not panic, he is supposed to be dead. Alright. I'll clean this up afterwards because my mother is going to clean me otherwise. So, we got our 2 holes, and what we're going to do, I'm going to put the filters into the box. Actually, let's do just Alright, so what we're going to do is I'm going to set this filter down right here. I'm going to open this up. Woo! Okay, they have a secondary opening. That's weird. I'll pour this inside because this, what these guys do, and I'll grab one really quick. These little things here are filtration medias. What they do is, as water runs through it, they'll collect bacteria on them, and that bacteria will slowly grow into colonies, and it'll start oxygenating the water even more. And it's really good if you have several dozen bags of this stuff in there, but I only have one, so I'll go get some more eventually. But for now, this will be enough. So we've got that right there, and then this right here will cover everything else and collect most of the gunk that's going to be pumped out. And voila. Alright. Nothing fancy, just the water pumps onto this, goes through the cloth and everything like that. All the bulky stuff is collected, and then as soon as it passes through there, it's going to flow into the other empty side. There's going to be the second pump there. It's going to pump water back out, and presto. So, we're going to really quick clean all this up and come back to y'all in a second. Come on. Come on, you lazy bag of fur. So, this is the little terror of the weeks. Come on. Yo. I know you hate this. So, we've had this guy for 8 years. There, I'll get you down in a second. And he is a pain in the butt. I just wanted to show y'all the little fur ball that will be interrupting our videos consistently besides the possum. Alright, now we're gonna go cut back to us building. Okay guys, so I've got here, I think it's 1/4 inch pipe, and we just need enough that one of these pumps can reach into the pond, pump the water into the box. The other one can pump back there. So I'm gonna measure it really quick. Come closer, my friend. Okay, so we've got hose, goes on. Water will be sucked in through here, and I can control how much is coming through. The water will be filtered through here, pumped in, and then whatever end is going in there, we'll pump the water onto the blue filter. Whatever gunk, heavy stuff will stay there, but the water will trickle through. And then it'll go through that filtration stuff I put in there. And then what'll happen is the second filter will then pump all the clean water back into the pond. And hopefully this keeps this pond clean. I don't know yet though. This is my first time making one, so we're learning. I'm gonna need, I'm gonna do this once without screwing it up. Okay. Let's hope for the best. That was correct size. Alright. We're gonna take one of the hoses. We're gonna attach it here. And then we're gonna set it in the pond. There we go. And always remember, when messing with electricity, make sure you dry your hands before you touch any electrical outlets or anything like that, because if you do not, you will get shocked. I have had experience with this. It sucks. I need help. And I'm back. Just kidding. Alright. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to plant this filter on the bottom of the pond. Alright, there we go. And what we're going to do is I'm going to put the hose end right here. Oh, and I cut a little too much, which is okay. Just be cool to watch. Actually, I did cut too much. Well, better too much than too little. There There's the first pump. Now we'll do the second one. And just because I know this is really boring to watch me cut stuff and stuff like that, we're gonna skip to us starting the thing up. Too much line is no good. Too little line is no good. Just right is perfect. And this is a little hard to cut than I thought. Okay, that's not cutting. There we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's been like 10 seconds there now. It's actually been a second thing. For us, it's been like hours. So I got everything done up. Look at my beautiful thing. I did this by hand. I will say this right now. I've been saved more times by duct tape than I think anything else on this planet. Whether that's medications, cars, gas, food. This stuff has saved me more than anybody else. So, just shouting you out, duct tape. Good job. Anyway, we're going to plug. Anyway, before my cameraman rudely interrupted. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so we got everything hooked up, and so I have the hose hanging out because it's going to be really cool to watch the water shoot in. And if when the water hits the surface of this water, it's going to create ripples and it'll create more oxygen for the fish, and it looks really cool too, and it'll make them feel safer. So there's that. Let's see if this actually. Wait. No. Gotta plug in the one that shoots the water in first, and then turn on the other. There it goes. That actually looks cool. It's so super quiet. Yep, and there's the water. Oh dang, there's a decent amount of water being pumped in. Okay, so now what's gonna happen is I'm gonna wait for about a minute to let the box fill up, and then I'm going to turn on the second pump. And all the pumps have a water setting to how much water they'll be pumping in and out. And so I'm gonna have them about equal, but I'm having this one just a little more, that way that this one's never running dry. If a pump goes on without pushing water, it can destroy it and burn it, and I don't want that, so I'm gonna be very cautious about that. Cautious. Hose being turned on. Let's see if this actually works. Wow, it works perfectly. Now there will be a little bit of tweaking to this because I need to make sure the water flow through both pumps is correct and that this box always still stays filled with water. But yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Brand new filter. We're gonna cut back to a little clip later in the day when it's much more clear and we can actually see it with the GoPro. So we're gonna jump to that really quick. 3, 2,